Good morning, it's Trisha with Easy Emini Trade, and I want to go over a couple things from Monday and Tuesday. A lot of questions about range trades, so we'll do some of those that were pretty decent on Monday. And if you'd like more information on the setups, you can go to www.easyemintrade.com. So here's Monday, and also would like to mention that the Euro future does really well with range trades or these setups in general. I haven't posted any videos on them, just because in the room I've been pointing out the entries when I can on the Euro, but usually if I'm getting ready to take a setup on the NQ or the ES, then unfortunately that always falls to the wayside. But nonetheless, it works out really well for all the setups using the Keltner channels. So with that said, on the left we have the ES, on the right we have NQ, and this is for Monday. And Monday, usually I'm willing to take a trade in that first couple minutes and ignore all areas of support and resistance. And we do get a setup on the NQ after the first bar. So we close outside the channel here, but when you look at the longer tick chart or time frame chart from the previous day and overnight, we have a ton of congestion just right above us. So I just didn't feel comfortable taking it. And that happens periodically, but obviously after the fact I wish that I did take it, but nonetheless this actually was a setup and just passed on it. The ES never had one, so there wouldn't have been anything that you would have done in that first couple minutes, and that's the only time that I'm willing to ignore where the major areas of interest are. So so you could have taken that. We actually tried to take it here when it held this area here of support, pulled back to the channel, expecting to get up to this area here. It didn't make it there, and unfortunately we're stopped out. And so now let's talk a little bit about range trades. Range trades are just that, when you're at resistance and at support, upper channel and lower channel. When they all fall in line, when your upper channel falls in line with an area of resistance and your lower line falls in line with the general area of support, that's ideal for taking range trades. The best environment for taking those is to not take them too early, because of course you won't be able to really establish that you're in a range, and anything can happen in that first half hour in the morning. So I just urge you to be cautious if you're doing them first thing in the morning. We already established an area of resistance here in the morning. We come down and we come to the lower channel, so we'll mark this as our general area of support as well as our 50% retracement. So we get back to the upper channel, and it's in the general area of resistance, as you can see. So you can take it at the upper channel when it's rolling over and expect to get to the bottom channel. If you want to be a little more conservative, you can wait for your stochastic to roll below 80 and then take it and expect to get to the lower channel. And for me, this would be just a little bit too early for me to want to take it. It's about 10:15 and just a little early to say that we're in a range and I'm willing to take it. I would rather wait and retest the area of support and then take it to the upside, and then know approximately where I'm going to be able to get on that. So many people took this, totally up to them. I would wait, for me personally, till I got down to the area of support and the lower channel, and we do have divergence to the upside, so you take it expecting to get to the upper channel and the area of resistance. And conservative, you can wait for your stochastic to roll above the 20 area and then get in, or you can just get in when you hit the lower channel, knowing you have divergence to the upside. So again, it's going to be up to the individual how they choose to get in, aggressively or conservatively. On the ES, you really aren't having the same opportunities for range trades. You're hitting the lower channel and coming outside, actually, and never really hitting that upper channel of at a resistance area. So a little sloppier on the ES. The NQ seems to be a little easier to deal with for those range trades, and that's just generally speaking, not always, of course. Here you get to the upper channel area of resistance. Aggressively, you're in after the bar closes and you're inside the channel. Conservatively, when the stochastic rolls below 80, you get in under the low of the bar and expect to get to your lower channel. And when you're taking range trades, you'll find that when the ADX is below 20, you're likely going to have more success, because obviously above 20 is telling us that, in a trending move, typically. So would be easier to just pay attention to where the ADX is below 20 and kind of going sideways. It's perfect for range trades. And again, at support. And notice that as time goes by, though, and you don't have a lot of volatility in the market, your channels are going to get a little more narrow. So you have to be aware of how much room you realistically have above your head to take the trade. You don't want to just keep taking them and taking them. At some point, you're going to have to stop, because the channel is going to be too narrow to make it worth your while. So here you get to the lower channel support area. Aggressive, you're in here. Conservative, when your stochastic rolls above 20, you're in here, again expecting to get to the upper channel. So that's pretty much it for how range trades work, and it just takes some practice. So I would suggest practicing in your sim account and getting familiar with them, and then you can have something to do while you're waiting for the better moves. And this is Tuesday the 30th, and here's the NQ still, ES on the left. And opening bar here, we are closed outside the channel, ADX above 20, so I'm willing to take it ignoring this area above us. And I'm only willing to do that like in that first 2 minutes. Like I have to be in by 9:33 or I'm not really interested. So we get in, obviously it works out. Couldn't get through this area here, and at that point it's 9:35, 9:36. The ES actually is stuck at the high of the previous day, so we just took what we can get. We got like a point on that. No great trade, but nonetheless got something out of it. You'll notice on the ES you never had that opening set up. Here, when we do get closed outside the channel here, you wind up with resistance right above your head. Also, news is coming out at 10, so not quite interested in that at that time. And the same goes here. If you got in here, you're getting in pretty close to the item coming out at 10 o'clock, and totally up to you how it fits your plan. If you got in here, I think you got a point out of it. If you got in here, I think you got a point out of it. So totally up to you. I'm not really willing to do that because it gets so whippy, but if I'm already in something, great, and I will take something before the news. But the closer I get to a news item that's typically going to move the market, then I'm going to wait. And we did get closed outside the channel here, had us coming down, right to support. So not really interested in that. For me, I am always going to pay attention to where I've got support and resistance, and where's the room? Am I going to have room for price to move? Getting in under this area here, this is an area 1962 25 that on our daily chart is a pretty strong area of support and resistance. Not going to take something right on that, and this is the close of the previous day, so going to want to get close below that in order to take something. And that's just for me. It doesn't have to be for you. And this is actually where I was trying to get in, right here, and I actually moved away from the chart for a second to remove a line, and it just happened so quickly. Many people in the room were able to get in on this bar, but I had to wait for the pullback and got in on this bar. So either event, they both worked out, knowing that you've got support down here of the low of the previous day. On the ES, would have been basically the same thing. You wouldn't get under the close of the previous day, and you would never have been filled if you were entering in under the low of this bar. And again, it's a pretty big bar, but you could have entered in under this bar if you wanted to, and either worked out just fine, and both of them coming up to the area of support. And this was a trade we took in the afternoon, I think at 2:34, 2:35, somewhere in that vicinity. Close outside the channel, ADX above 20, and we take it, and it takes forever to work out, but it does finally work out. So just depending on your patience level, I flattened and canceled at break even, or actually a little better than break even, because I got tired of waiting. I mean, it just took forever. So obviously someone's patience paid off, but it was a half-hour trade, that took forever to get a couple points out of it. On the ES, you have a setup in the same general area. However, you don't have as much room above your head before price is going to top out. So your preference as to which you'd like to do, and I'm just showing you how I am taking the trades, and of course you can adapt it to your own personal style.